scene. How's everybody doing? Happy
Woo!
New Year. We're glad you're here. It's going to be an awesome year, 2026. By the way, I had my entire team, my staff fly out to Puerto Rico and spend the weekend with me. They came out New Year's Day. That's what a terrible boss I am. But I asked them, I said, hey, we don't have to do this. They're like, we want to do it. So on New Year's Day, while you were watching football, my entire staff flew to Puerto Rico. It was awesome. We spent all day Friday together and Friday night, all day Saturday and Saturday night. And we did business planning and goal setting. And we got really crystal clear on what we wanted to do this year in the area of marketing, the area of events, in the area of finances, in the area of goals, and who was doing what and when and what they're doing. And then we have some real clear, clean, concise marching orders. Is super excited. Then Sunday, I took them all into the jungle. That's right. We did the rainforest and tropical rainforest. We went to, oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, man, Rob's good. So there it is, man. The ladies all went on a cruise. That's right. If you notice, those are all men. So all the ladies go, we're out of here. So I took the guys and we went in the rainforest and just had an absolute blast. So that was the second waterfall or the first. I can't remember. Was that the first one, Rob, or the second one? I don't know. But
I
it was
believe that one is the second one.
yeah, man. It was Rob, you were there. What'd you think? Good times?
Was awesome. We had a great time and it was really good to plan.
Heck yeah, Rob loved the planning. He's a monster. So I can look forward to you guys coming out to a mastermind in Puerto Rico, and people love going to the watermelon hike, the waterfall hike, and it just rocking and rolling. So someday you too will get to go on the watermelon hike. I think that's going to be my new name for it,
Just
man.
bring some water shoes, not sandals.
Yeah, I did see it was fine. It's like everyone's like, oh, you gotta have water shoes or old I wore sandals. Kenny, you wore Tevas, right? Kenny's still here. My CFO is still here. He won't leave. That's the problem. You invite people here, right? Right? That's it. How fun was it, Kenny? They're looking at you. How fun was it?
It's awesome. Totally fun.
Even the CFO had fun. Anyway, so we're rocking and rolling. Okay, well, let's get this party started. Happy New Year. Shay Spitz, what's going on? Mark Hammer, how you doing? Carolyn Lowry, hi, Carolyn. Good to see you. And Debbie and Jim and Clark and Craig. What's up, Craig? Andy Zane, come on in the house with the team. Frank Crandall. Love you, Frank. I got your video. I don't think I had a chance to respond to you. I loved it, dude. You're amazing. Sent me the nicest heartfelt video. Carmen, John Sy from Vancouver, Canada. What's up, Johnny? Tammy Cook and Martha and Craig. So good to see you guys. And Laura and Jared. There's a ton of people here. Welcome. Happy New Year. Let's get this party started. Okay. So number one, I want to say this. It's a new year. It's a new month. It's a new week and it's a new day. And I'm ready for a new me and a new you. So, man, this is all about, what you want out of life and going after things. So, man, I hope you hit it hard this year. So, I'm kind of excited. So, I want to say this. It's time to go from amateur to pro. We're all watching football games, and if you're not, you should be. And those guys review game film. They analyze how they performed and how they could have performed better next time. And then they go over the game plan for next time, and they come up with the plan. They study the other team, and they study the competition, and they go, how can we add more value? How can we be better? And so it's pretty great. So we want you to go from amateur from pro. So here's how you do it. And this is the greatest story. So the true story. We got two young men out in Hawaii. I heard this weekend. They're out in Hawaii. True story. They're roommates. They're 21 years old, young. They just got their license out in Hawaii like 2 months ago. This just happened, and they're roommates. And they got jobs, but they're just out waiting tables, washing dishes. I mean, they're kids. They're 21-year-olds. And they're like, okay, we got our real estate license, and the average home sells for like $1 million in Hawaii or more, probably 1.5 million. And so the commission's like $45,000. They sell a home and make more than they make all year. One home. They're like, we got to do this, but we're scared to death. We're nervous. And so Chris Okamura's in Chris Okamura's group out there. They go, Chris, what do we do? What do we do? And he goes, well, what do you mean? Well, we quit our jobs. And so they live together. They quit their jobs. By the way, that's called burning the boats. And they went, the real estate school said it's 9 months before we make our first sale. We can't do that. Necessity is the mother of invention. And necessity is the mother of getting things done. And so guess what they did? They go to Chris. They ask for advice. Smart. They were a little tepid. They were a little nervous, a little scared, a little uncomfortable. And Chris gave them the great advice. He says, well, to tell you the truth, when I saw EXP, I was working full-time as a general manager for Berkshire Hathaway. I quit my job. And I, just like you, lost, I think he was making, 10 grand a month in Northern California doing that. And he goes, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And he decided on his own to do 30 open houses in 30 days. And there's a moral to the story. There's a point I'm going to make. And he said, man, I got up and running overnight. I did control the controllables. You may not control when you sell a house or when you get a listing, when a buyer buys and a seller sells, but you can control you. You can control doing an open house every day. You may not want to. Let your actions dictate your emotions. Do not let your emotions dictate your actions. Who wants to do an open house every single day for 30 days? Even if it's a 3-hour open house, it's an hour to drive there and set up signs, an hour to take it down, 4 or 5 hours a day. Every day calling agents. They didn't have any listings. Begging Century 21 and Remax and Coldwell Banker and EXP agents, hey, can I hold it open? No, you can't. Come to work for, Realty Executives and you can hold it open. We don't let people hold our houses open. If you're not with Coldwell Banker, you can't hold it open. I called the next Coldwell Banker agent. They go, sure, you can hold it open. I want to go to Kauai this weekend. I don't want to stay in Kona. You hold it open. And so, you call one agent's no, the next agent's yes. But so they did it. They sucked it up and they called till they had to call a ton of agents just to get an open house. They did 30 open houses in 30 days. They just finished. They sold 3 homes. And they completely changed as human beings. Chris said they completely grew up in a month. Their confidence level skyrocketed. The fear of the unknown, it's over. They came up with systems and processes. And so this actually just happened. And I thought, well, I think this is a 1% club. We're here to talk about sponsoring agents, not about sales. Completely applies to sponsoring agents. And so I want to ask you guys, go down to the react button. If you look at the bottom of your screen, I'm going to hit mine, hit it, and then hit raise hand, click. And look, it raised my hand, put a little hand sign there. So if you want to answer the question, and so you may want to take it out. I haven't told you the question yet. You may want to go back in there, drop my hand. So here is, and I'll drop mine, lower hand. Okay. So here's the question. What did they do? What, in your opinion, did they do? And I want to know who wants to take a guess at it. Like I told you, did 30 open houses in 30 days. But what was it that they did? Tammy Cook, you got to raise your hand if you want to talk.
They took action.
They took action. Yes,
They took
yes.
action and they actually overcame their fear.
Yes, those are exactly right. And I'm going to hit on a point right like that. So that is correct. Anybody else want to take a guess at what they did? Tom Costello.
Well, she just told it's Tony Robbins. Take massive action. It just take.
Yes.
That's
They
it.
did that too. That is not a wrong answer. Both of you are A pluses. Who else? Anybody else want to take a stab at what they did? Anybody else?
Hey, Brian.
Raise your hand. Chris, you look like you're trying to raise your hand.
Yeah. So
Patricia, what did they do? And I'll come to you, Craig. It looks like you're having a hard time finding the raise your hand button. Yes, Patricia. Oh, she brought it down. I'll go to you, Craig, then to Carolyn. Craig, go ahead. Forget raising your hand, Craig, from New York. Craig, did you want to share what they did?
Yeah, they went out on faith instead of fear.
Faith. That is correct. That was another proper answer. That's good. Carolyn, what'd they do?
They called a whole bunch of people.
They called a whole bunch of people, that other brokerages that was maybe uncomfortable. And I guarantee they said people said absolutely not. And And I remember I'd do this and people would say, I hate Remax agents. And then I went to Keller Williams. I hate Keller Williams agents. You guys are always bugging us. And then, so it doesn't matter what brokerage you're at. Patricia, what'd they do?
What they had to do.
Ooh, I like that. What they had to do. Another
They
correct answer.
controlled the controllable. They
Come
took
on, Patricia.
control of it.
I love it. I love it. Tom, you don't get to guess twice. Tom's coming back around. Okay, Tom, I'll reward your persistence.
Okay, I had to have something different because someone else said what I said. They took action before they were ready. They didn't get.
Oh, they took action before they're ready. Progress before perfection. I like it. I like it. Okay, so I'll stop torturing you guys. Everybody, what you said was right. There was no wrong answer here. You all hit on it. Tom, you could lower your hand now. But here's the deal. They inverted the learning curve. Type that. Someone put that in the chat. Here's what they did. They inverted the learning curve, the slow and painful, or they took that thing and they went like this. And Chris said it was the weirdest thing. They actually matured. They were a little tepid. They were a little tentative. They were scared. They were nervous. He goes, today they are confident. They got systems and processes. They're like excited. They're like, I got this. They went from being like really unsure. It's like jumping off a 40-foot ledge. The first time you kind of look over the edge into that water, you maybe go feet first. 10 more times, you just boop right in. Maybe the 15th time you dive. Maybe the 25th time you do a flip. And so my question is, are you ready to dive and do the Acapulco high dive into the deep end of the pool? Because this is 2026. And you got to make a decision. David Gerwels, Jared Davis, Marguerite Crispello, Gary Meek with the cool headset. What's up, G-Dog? Jim Fury, I love that. You got to make a decision. And so they made a decision. Fine, they got the advice. Do 30 open houses in 30 days. And they took action and they faced their fear. You know what? It disappeared. Face your fear and it'll disappear. Run and hide and it'll be magnified. My wife said that 40 years ago. I wrote it down. We've only been married 35 years and I've only known her for 36, but I know she said it 40 years ago. Okay, I'm wrong. It wasn't 40 years ago. It was like 34 years ago, but feels like 40. All right, so here's the deal. So I'm going to challenge you to do something very cool. Tony Robbins says this: if you're in your head, you're dead. What he means by that, if you think about going to the gym and you don't, you're not going to get in shape. If you think about cleaning the house and you don't, your house is going to be messy. It's not overly complicated. He also says, I think one of you said this, I think it might have been, Tom Costello, massive action creates results. That's all they did. And you guys all touched on that. Man, they called people they didn't want to call. They did things they didn't want to do. But then they got the big mo. Someone typed that in the chat. They got the big mo. And Tony Robbins says this, and I hate quoting him, but I'm around him a lot. Everything's easier with momentum. Someone write that in the chat. Everything's easier with momentum. Getting listings. Like Shay, unmute yourself. I'd love to come to Shay because she's got 3 little kids and she sells 70 homes a year with 3, we're talking like 4-year-old, 5, 6, 7-year-olds, like small, 70 homes a year. But Shay, and I know what it's like having done this. You ever feel like, man, you're just kind of in a flow one month and it's like every listing appointment you go on, you get every buyer show property, they buy the first home they see, that you write down. Do you ever feel like you got the Midas touch sometimes in real estate? You're just putting them in escrow, right? Am I correct?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
How does that feel when you're just like dunking?
Yeah, it definitely feels awesome. Actually, it's funny because I have a buyer that reached out to me on the 1st. We looked at properties on the 2nd, viewed 4 of them, and we put 1 under contract. Like that's those are so much easier. Or like sellers, they reach out and they're like, hey, we want to sell. And you go there and you get the contract signed and you get it on the market. It's just over time, it does get to be a little bit easier. The more you grind and the harder you work, but like last year I did 83 transactions and I even told my coach, like I felt like I could have done like 30 more because you start leveraging, you start putting people in the right places. But yeah, it definitely makes a difference when they're working with the right people.
So how do you win? You get around people like Shay. You get around the 2 21-year-olds who put you to shame. They're like, they're doing what you're thinking about. And we just had an agent join us, and she has been with us for, I don't know, four months, and she's already added like 75 agents in 4 months. And there's nothing wrong with you. You're just not doing. You're thinking. You're in your head. You're dead. So I'm going to challenge you. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm going to challenge you today. And if you take this challenge, I'm going to throw a party for you on a 130-foot yacht in Cabo. I'm going to treat you to lunch on a yacht, like a real yacht with a real captain, a real chef, assistants for the chef, bartenders, a couple bartenders, a real mahogany bar. It's like a real yacht. Like Jeffrey Bezos would rent this yacht, and they're going to make you a sangria if you'd like one or some. I have coffee on the yacht. It's so funny. Don't you want a drink, Mr. Gove? I do. I do. I want a coffee. And but you can have a sangria, or you can have a virgin pina colada, or a real one. But I'm going to buy you lunch. And you're going to come on this yacht and you're going to enjoy an hour on the yacht, my treat, if you take my challenge. And by the way, the tip for the yacht for the day is $8,000 cash. They don't take credit cards. It's cash. I have to take money into Mexico like drug mules. Like if I load people up with cash because you can only bring 10, and I've rented that yacht 3 different times, and then I need my own cash. So I'm bringing $30,000-$40,000 cash into Mexico. I feel like a drug dealer in reverse or something. But anyway, so I'm probably, is this being recorded? I think it is. Anyway, so here's the deal, but it's all legal if it's under 10, and I think if it's over 10, you just have to disclose it. And I don't like the government knowing what I'm doing. It's none of their business. If I don't have over 10, tough on you, government. All right. So, anyways, I'm like, I would have been at the Boston Tea Party throwing their tea in the harbor. Okay, but I digress. So, massive action creates results, and so that's what these 2 kids did. So, if you take my challenge in March, I'm gonna throw a bash for you, an awesome lunch. This boat. I mean, I put 45 people on every time. It could hold 145 people, comfortable. It is awesome. And so I'm excited. So here it is. Let me see. How do I word this? I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think you could sponsor 1 out of 10 people you talk to? If you actually sat down and talked to them about EXP and you did 10, do you think 1 would sign up? By the way, mine's 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 ratio. Okay. Well, that's you, Brent. You're so handsome and you wear the dark shirt. You look so, yeah, I'm kidding. I'm making fun of myself. Okay. But listen to me. I'll help you. Your sponsor will help you. Amy Weaver will help you. Tony King will help you. Those are vice presidents. There's people that will help you. Randy Bird would help you. Frank Crandall would help you. Clark Broom would help you. If you reach out, you have friends here. Jared Davis would help you. Marguerite Crispella would help you. People would help you. Like, Marguerite, unmute yourself. If someone called you, like say Patricia called you and she said, Marguerite, could you help me? You own an independent brokerage. You had 3 locations, over 110 offices. I got this independent agent, and he's got 60 or 40. Would you just jump on a Zoom and talk to him for me for 10, 15, 20 minutes and kind of share what your experience was migrating from an independent to EXP and what it's meant to you? Would you be willing to do that for me, Marguerite? What would you say if someone asked you that?
Oh yeah, I've done it a gazillion times. I'm more than happy to. I mean, I've been here 9 years. I've done it lots and lots of times. I'd be more than happy.
There you go. So, John Sy, you're not alone. Dick Lee.
It's his birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, John.
It's John's birthday. Happy birthday, buddy. I'm not on Facebook. I don't know any. Why doesn't Brent wish me happy birthday? I have no idea whose birthday it is ever. Happy birthday, John Sy. What are you about 27 now? How old are you now?
46 today.
Oh my God, you do not look 46. Oh my gosh, that's not even fair. That's crazy. But here's the deal. John Sy would help you. He's a mega superstar with Mike Ferry. John would, if you just reach out to people, Mark Hammer would help you. Carmen Zuniga would help you. Shay Spitz would help you. Hey, I know she's single mom. Well, Shay's not a single mom, but she's got a mom with 3 kids. And sorry, I don't know why that popped out. Nothing changed over the holidays, did it? Just kidding. But she did 80+ sales, and she would help you. And Craig Nash would help you, and Andy Zhang. They're people. We help each other. Tom. Dylan Nanaka from Hawaii. I just saw you. You're here. You have the largest.
Those 2 boys are my team members, right?
Yeah. So you heard this story. I know. Chris told me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I am telling this story. They're the stars of my 1% club today. And so Dylan, though, if someone you have like do you have the largest expansion team in America or one of them or some record you hold? I heard it's pretty awesome, right?
Well, it's official today. We're one of 4 teams in EXP that did 1,000 transactions last year. So we hit
That is
1,001
awesome.
today in the system.
Come on, baby. Come on. You're number one in the system.
Well, we're number 4 in all of EXP, but we're one of 4 that did 1,000 this year.
So if you're like me, you're like, okay, what number three do? What'd they do? And they're going down. They're going down in the first quarter. I don't know. I'm just competitive. By
we
the
got
way,
some people to
Randy Bird and
chase. We got some
I
people to
played
chase.
golf today. We're 2-2. He beat me twice in 2026. I beat him twice. We're like neck and neck, and we just want to crush each other. That's just good fun. Anyway, so here's the deal. Could you sponsor 1 out of 10? You could. So if you were to do 30 and 30, like these 21-year-old boys who had, and I haven't met them. And so if they ever listen to this, you guys, no disrespect, but you're 21, you're young. And this is the way I heard the story. And so, but anyways, you're going to let these 21-year-old whippersnappers whip you to like, what have they got in you? Here's what they got in you. They controlled the controllables. They go, we could do this every day. And it wasn't like meet with an agent for coffee. No, it was call a bunch of agents, get an open house, get the signs, go out, work for hours and hours and hours, meet people, then pack up all the signs. It was a lot more than what I'm talking about. So here's my challenge for you. If you will sit down and talk to 30 people in the next 30 days, and if you miss Sunday and you do 2 on Saturday because you don't want to work on Sunday, which I don't think you should work 7 days a week, then do 2 on Saturday. Maybe you get 2 in on Wednesday and you do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You do 2 on Wednesday, or maybe you take the weekends off and you do 2 on Tuesday and 2 on Thursday and 1 Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. There's your 7 a week. That's what I did. I talked to 7 people a week. I would talk to 30 people a month. I signed up. Actually, I always said I get 7 out of 8. The first 8 I talked to, I actually got all of them. They all signed up. But my actual ratio was I talked to 30 people a month. I signed up 5 a month for 5 months. I signed up 25 people in my first 5 months. Okay. But I wasn't keeping score, but I do know how many I did, and I know how many signed up. I know how many signups outside of my team. It did not count any of my team. I did 25. I brought a team over, which they did nothing. They just sold real estate. They were happy to sell real estate. They were new to real estate. They're that phase I call drunk on real estate. They're buying boats. They're remodeling kitchens. They're buying, upgrading their home. They're putting their kids in private school, out of public school. They're doing the fun things when you've never made money like you're making. And so my team was successful. But the problem with that, they were so successful, they had no need to play the long game. They were masters of the short game. You could be jack of all trades and master of none. You can be masters of the short game, but a failure at the long game. What's the long game? Having choices. And I was a master of the short game for 2 decades. I did really well at Remax because I was willing to suffer. I did really well at Keller Williams because I was willing to suffer. Shay sold 80 something houses and loved it, could have done 30 more, but she was willing to suffer. It's not always convenient. If success was convenient, everybody would be successful. And I don't know who said it today. Robert Colello, he said this today. He says, if you're trying to get gold, you better be prepared to move a lot of dirt. So are you guys prepared to move a lot of dirt? Because, but when you're done, you have choices. And that's all I want is choices. And I was able to get them because I was willing to do what other people weren't willing to do. And many of you are too. John Sy is too. Jared Davis is too. Randy Bird is too. Frank Crandall is too. I don't want to leave anybody out, so I'll stop. But are you willing to do what other people aren't willing to do so that you can live the way other people will never live with choices? I never had a ton of choices because I did what everybody else was willing to do. Work really hard at real estate. Head down, butt up in the trenches, slinging buyers and escrows, slinging, listings. And I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know what else to do. And it was fun. If EXP went away, I'd go back to listings and buyers. I actually really enjoyed it. Did you hate it? Did you what? No, I just wanted choices. And when I got the choice when my income from revenue share exceeded my expenses, $50,000 a month at the office, I was just an agent spending $50,000 a month. And at home in Northern California with 5 children, it was $50,000 a month to take care of all of our expenses. We lived in suburbs. We drove Suburbans and Chevy Tahoes. We weren't driving Rolls Royces and, Porsches. But here's the deal. It was 50,000 a month to do that. So how much did Brent have to earn in revenue share to have choices and options? For me, it was 100,000 a month is what it took. Some of you, your overhead's 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month. I was making that by my second month. So you can actually become a completely different person in the next 30 days. That's what I'm offering you. And then we're going to have fun in Cabo. Come to Cabo. I'm going to put you on a 130-foot yacht. And you're like, wait. It's fun. It is like an experience like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And it's super like, I mean, remember the tip is $8,000. I can't even tell you what I'm spending that day. It's crazy money. But I want to honor you. I want to honor what you did, because if you do this, you will suffer. But guess what? It's just for a moment. And all of a sudden you get momentum. Remember what I said? Everything's easier with momentum. You'll suffer. It'll be inconvenient. Being successful is inconvenient. So this is your moment. If you want to do 30 and 30, which means you will talk to someone every day, take someone to coffee, take someone to breakfast, take someone to lunch, meet them at 4 o'clock for an iced tea, go home at 5 and see your family. I don't go home till 6. Meet them at 5 o'clock for an iced tea. Maybe buy them dinner. Go to a Mexican food restaurant. Just talk to them, engage them, talk to them about EXP luxury, land and ranch, commercial. And then when the timing's right, talk to them about maybe being part of EXP, maybe part of our new AI marketing, our new fast cap, and the different programs we have, because you're plugged in and you're going. And you have them when it's right. You say, hey, I want to meet with you next week. I want you to see our model, like how everybody earns all this stock and all this revenue share. You may have seen it before, but it's amazing what's going on now. And then you can tell them about these two 21-year-old guys in Hawaii and Dylan Nanaka's business, right? He's a proud pop. I see you smiling there. Way to go, buddy. And so
and they not only did they get a bunch of business out of it, they've already attracted 3 agents. I mean, they're 21 and they're in the business less than 6 months, but yeah, they've already attracted 3 agents. So
there you go. It's just awesome.
And one of them worked through their 21st birthday. Their 21st birthday was during those 30 days, and he told me, he's like, I'm not gonna take the day off. I'm not gonna drink a beer. He's like, I'm gonna work through this thing, and we're gonna celebrate afterwards. And actually, I took him to Vegas in November to the Zillow conference as a reward because they crushed it. So yeah, we'll party in Vegas. Never mind party on your birthday.
Yeah, there you go. And so, but what are you doing for your group? I've taken my group to the movies. Doesn't have to be Las Vegas or a yacht in Cabo. Say, hey, let's go to dinner in the movies. Whoever hits this, I'll take everyone out to dinner. We'll go out to Hangtown Pizza and then Old Town Pizza, where I am. And the movies, that costs a lot of money. It's the invitation. And maybe for yourself, I would say when I finish this, I'm going to go out to dinner with my wife and catch a movie. I did that many times to reward myself. Oh, wow, I'm losing track of time. I did not realize it was this late. So bottom line, I'm going to have to shorten this up. Shoot, I didn't realize what time it was. I have a hard stop at 6. Randy Bird's going to take over for me until Viral Workman gets here. So here's the challenge, 30 and 30. You could start tomorrow. Just talk to somebody, man. Get out of your head. Let your dreams come true. Become a different person in the next 30 days. Become a different person. You're great. There's nothing wrong with you, but I mean, your level of confidence around agent attraction, get out of your head. It's time. You can't put it off one more day. Take the challenge. I'll see you in Cabo on the yacht, whoever completes it. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. So we're doing the honor system, but I'm going to spend a lot of money on you and say thank you. And so what's bigger, your fear or your family? I got to go. Randy Bird, I'm going to hand this off to you. When Viral Workman gets here, you hand it off to Viral. I'm sure you have some thoughts around what I've said. You can start tomorrow. You can start Monday, because I know I'm throwing this on you. Maybe start this Monday, but start. Anyways, I got to go. Love you guys. Bye. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Rob. You've got me as co-host, right? Looks like.
I will do it right now. Yep.
Thank you, brother. Just so we don't drop. Hey, everybody, I appreciate it. So you know what? I mean, I took a lot of notes down, but where the rubber hits the road is how comfortable are you in having these conversations? I saw a little chat in there, a little chatter about What do we say? How do we start the conversations? I know we're excited, but how do we get to the point to where we're actually coming from a place of how do I actually do this, right? How do I have this conversation with people? What's that look like? Who feels like they have a great opening line to have this? I saw John Sy put something I love in there, but who feels like they have, and don't be shy here. This is not the time to be shy, and this is not the time to sit there and think that you're just going to listen to this. In my opinion, the ones that speak up now, the ones that raise their hand, the ones that are willing to be outside the comfort zone are the ones that are going to win. You've got winners like John Sy. You've got winners in here that have done it and have built big organizations and have led big companies. But in my opinion, as an attraction coach now for like almost 5 years full time, over 10,000 agent or 10,000 hours agent attraction coaching specifically for EXP. I refuse to coach agents from other companies how to attract. It's like it's my hard stop, right? But we know what the objections are now. We know how to do this. But what's your comfort level with this? Do you have the ability to call somebody you care right now and ask them to look at the EXP model in a way that makes you feel integral? And then more importantly, not be attached to the outcome. That's what I'm going to lean on, is not being attached to the outcome, because that's where you will fail. If you're attached to the outcome, it's very difficult, because the first thing they're going to say is they're happy with their current company. They love their broker. They're happy with the copy machine, whatever it is. And we think that we have to work like an expired and out script them into a yes. That's absolutely inaccurate. If you ask the right questions, you will get to the promised land. But if you don't, you're going to be left with an objection that you're going to have to give them, and that's going to make it uncomfortable for both parties. Okay, so Shay, you had your hand up. Do you want to ask a question? You took it down. You're like, I don't want to ask now. He's going to
Correct.
call
That
me
was
out.
that's what it was. No, I think I just have a hard time. I really do. It sounds weird because you give me a listing or a seller, I can convert it. But
You could do it in your sleep. Wouldn't you agree? If I
yeah,
gave you $1 million listing to go out in 1 hour and you've never been there before, you could be prepared. You could nail it.
yes, correct. And
And
so
I could
I
do
don't
that.
know.
I could do that with agents, but I can't do it with listings anymore because I've been out of the game for 5 years. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that's probably the same thing. So like I don't know what my holdup is when approaching agents. So one, there's not very many agents in my area. There's
Okay.
literally 90.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have only, yeah, you have to go outside your area, by the way. Now you
Right.
can, in my opinion, you can build a really successful, massive team like Dylan's done locally because of the amount of transactional volume you do.
Right. And so it's
But
just
I
go
want
ahead.
to I want to get back to something that's important, Shay, because it's going to help you. It's going to help everybody on this call. Feeling comfortable about the conversation is the first part. And being okay to be unattached to their not being interested at this time, because it's almost always timing. It's
Mhm.
almost always timing. It's not necessarily that they're closed-minded. It's just timing. They just moved brokerages. They just got a big listing. There's always something, right? But how would you ask me if you were completely unattached? How could you ask me to take a look at something like EXP? What in your mind comes up for you?
Well, let me go back to what John said.
Yeah, exactly. And I
Yeah.
love that, by the way. Assuming somebody's happy at their company is a great way to open the conversation. So Shay,
Right.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to make it easy for you. I'm going to do the tough part, and I want everybody to listen. Shay, I'm giving you permission to reject me. I'm giving you permission to shut me down if I give you the opportunity to do so. But if I ask a question that feels like it's natural and it feels like, um, that it's flowing okay, I want you to say yes to it. So don't say no when your gut's telling you to say yes. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
so that's the rules. We only got a couple minutes before Burl comes in here. So, hey Shay, Randy Bird, I really acknowledge your business that you're doing there. And you did 70, 80, 90 transactions last year. Is that accurate?
Yes. Yeah.
So I only have a couple minutes. I'm sure you do as well. I'm over here at EXP. You're at Coldwell Banker. I just really appreciate the business that you're doing and the professionalism in which you do it. I just have a simple question. Do you keep your options open when it comes to your real estate business?
Yes. Yeah. I
Okay.
do.
And I have a request that I'd like to get together with you and explain what I'm doing, see how we can collaborate, network, partner. I don't know what that looks like yet, but I'm coming from a place of absolute respect for you. what would be the best way for me to respect that time with you to allow me a time that we could talk about this potential opportunity?
I mean, I'd be available tomorrow.
Okay, cool. And about 30 minutes. What's a good time that we can spend 30 minutes together?
12:30?
Okay, was that difficult?
No.
Why?
No.
Why? I told you to object to me, right? Okay, make it harder on me.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Okay.
Shay, I've got some opportunities here. I think it'd be really valuable for you. You have an amazing business profile. I've looked you up. I've kind of romanticized what's going on in your business. You do a lot of great things, and we do a lot of great things. I'd like to have some synergy and connect, and maybe share what we're doing here, and see if there's a fit for you in some of those ways. Would you be open to that conversation? Would you just consider to be open-minded and look at it?
I mean, I'm always open-minded, but I really love where I'm at.
Awesome. How long you been there?
Going on 3 years.
Awesome. And are you an owner of that office, or are you an agent?
I'm just an agent, yeah.
Okay. So you're basically a tenant in that landlord relationship. Would that be fair?
Yeah, I guess you could look at it that way.
Okay. Any visions of owning your own office or being your own broker?
I've never thought of it. I don't want the liability of being a broker, though.
Bingo, Shay. You don't want the liability. What about if there was a model that released the liability but added all the benefits of a brokerage ownership? Would that be valuable to you?
I mean, it would, but it would take a lot, and I really love the people that I work with. My broker is just amazing. They do so
Okay.
much for me.
So let's do this. I want to take EXP off the table for a minute. You're not allowed to come to EXP because you love your broker, you love your people, but let's look at it as a backup offer. Can I present you what we're doing so you understand it? You might be able to rip off and duplicate some of it. And let's look at it as I want to provide a backup offer for you. So if something changes, Compass just bought all of Realogy, 8 brands, Coldwell Banker, Sotheby's, all of them. If something like that happened, do you have a backup plan now?
I do not know.
I'd love to present that to you, and I think it will be the most valuable 30 minutes you've ever spent in your real estate business. I promise that. So, what's a good time for us to do that?
How about in 2 weeks?
2 weeks is no problem. There's no timeline on my side. 2 weeks is great. If we go out 2, maybe 3 weeks, would you be able to commit to that without making it weird? Do you feel comfortable with that conversation?
Can we touch base maybe next week?
We can. Yeah. Is text good for you?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, great. Shay, we get a lot of calls in real estate. I'm just curious, right now in the conversation, do you feel like you're trying to push this off, or is this curious to you?
Maybe a little bit of both. I don't want to be put in a position where I feel uncomfortable making a
I
decision
pre
or even like verbally committing to something.
I appreciate the honesty. That's what I felt too. And I just want to acknowledge that because we're in a business, we get asked a million things. We're trying to stay in our lane. This will
Hmm.
be super valuable. What about this? I'll check in with you next week. I want the call to be 5 minutes and then 10 minutes and then 15 minutes, all the way up to 30 minutes, but you can get out at any one of those segments if it's just not feeling right for you. Would that feel safe?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Okay, cool. I'm going to honor that. I'm going to reach out next week, and I just love you to honor me back in this conversation. That's all I'm asking is you to
Mhm.
take a look at it. And at the end of it, I want to be friends. I want to share listings, do things together, whatever that looks like. But I really, really appreciate it. I honor you, and thanks for honoring me. I'm nervous, by the way. I'm nervous to ask you to look at my company. I respect you. I don't want to screw it up. I probably already said the wrong things. I just want to be humble and say, I look up to what you're doing in business, and I'd love to see if there's a way for us to collaborate. And I will not make it uncomfortable.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. I
All
can
right.
honor that.
So pause. I totally just ad-libbed that, but the bottom line is that's what's in my soul, right? That's what's
Right.
in my soul. If I'm speaking to somebody, I want to help them. Thank you, Frank. There's a lot of people I love on this call, but this is why we focus on practicing agent attraction conversations all the time. This is the
Hmm.
comfort level you need to be a listing agent to attractors, right? You
Hmm.
need to get that listing presentation down so you could rock and roll your business in an agent attraction format. All right.
Right.
So